I was at the Steeler game yesterday with Donald Trump. I was legitimately wondering how the stadium would react to him, given that, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I mean, they're the best traveling fans in football. And I know there are many other fans of other teams out there, but I'm very partial to the Steelers. Steelers fans are just very picky about their football. So I was like legitimately wondering how it would go down. Although I will also say this, Trump is very popular in Western Pennsylvania. He just is. And the kind of people who watch NFL football are also, I think, would be predisposed to support a guy like President Trump, who's an athlete himself, who loves sports, who's a competitor. He's fiercely competitive. He hates to lose. So Trump shows up at this event, and I'm there with him. And first of all, you get in these boxes, right? And I've, by the way, never been to a Steeler game at Heinz Field. Sure as hell never been in a private box. That's all a little above my pay grade. So check this out. So they get in there, and there's this like bulletproof glass on the front of it, right? It's kind of crazy. Like just seeing the security precautions in it. And I thought internally, didn't vocalize this, but I really thought like, what a sad state of affairs for our country that we have to take these precautions, because the left in this country, they have a monopoly on violence, and they're crazy people, and you never know what they're going to do. They've already tried to take out Trump twice. So here's got this thick bulletproof glass in front of him, and he shows up to the game a little bit late, because it's difficult for that man to get from point A to point B. He's the most famous guy in the world, but he shows up there. He walks out to the edge of the dais, where it gets as far as he can up to the bulletproof glass, stands up and waves his hand. And folks, the people in that stadium just went absolutely ballistic. And just listen for yourself. This is the view from inside the box. Listen to the sound. USA! USA! Now, do you see the bulletproof glass there in front of him? Like even without the bulletproof glass there, with the windows on those boxes closed, it's amazing how much sound they keep out of them. Did you hear that crowd? That was from inside the box. And I want you all to keep in mind, like, I'm watching the game. You're at these things. They're kind of chaotic, right? So like, I'm not really paying attention to social media, and I didn't have that great of a signal inside the booths anyway, because I think when President Trump is around, they kill the cell phone coverage, just because remember I told you with the remote controlled detonation of certain explosives, sometimes people use cell phones to do it. So cell phone coverage around President Trump can always be a little bit finicky. So I didn't realize this narrative, not a narrative. I didn't realize that NBC didn't show Trump like at all. And if you read Outkick, which is like a conservative version of ESPN, which you definitely should be checking out, Outkick. I love that website. But for sports, if you like sports, they're like ESPN but conservative. There's an article written on Outkick that said that the NBC showed President Trump for 4 seconds. So you mean to tell me if you watch NFL football and you're watching the Kansas City Chiefs, doesn't matter who the hell they're playing, whether they're home or away, you will see Taylor Swift up in that box 20 times during a game. Ad nauseum. It's annoying as hell. If Kamala Harris went to a game, you bet your ass you'd see her up there in that booth cackling her ass off, much to the disgust of everyone in America. It wouldn't matter how we the people felt about it. People would be horrified by seeing her up there. Kamala's not a football fan. She doesn't give a shit about the game. But then we would have seen her all the time. But President Trump is up there. They show him for 4 seconds. You see, this was legitimately surprising. Not that the media would treat him this way, but it was surprising to me, because that moment I really felt was special. You should have heard that crowd, because the media said that people, not only did they not cover the moment, the media said that Trump was getting booed, that hardly anybody cheered. I'm telling you, I was there. Nothing could be further from the truth. I heard that stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania erupt for this guy. They were spinning their terrible towels. Everyone was chanting USA, USA, USA. There wasn't one single boo in that entire house. So listen to the game outside the box. I mean, you see, you didn't hear any boos there, right? It was kind of unbelievable. And this is the thing. I think the media is legitimately afraid that if they cover Donald Trump, I mean, you know that if they show that, it helps him, right? They're afraid to do that with Trump. I don't understand it. I know that they hate America, and I know that they have leftist views, and I get all of that. Bumpin' McGroin, I see your question. His question was Elon there too? No, Elon was not there. Unfortunately, I would like to meet Elon Musk. He's kind of cool. We're going to talk about Elon Musk here in a second. Heidi saying they never played that. You know, it drives me crazy, Heidi, and to everybody else who's probably dismayed like I am. You know, I will probably never be the owner of a sports franchise. Again, being at that box was way above my pay grade. You know, I've never had that experience before, but you would think that if you were owner of a team, you have a president attending your sporting event at your stadium, Democrat or Republican, former president or even future president, potential future president, you would think it would be kind of an honor. And it's certainly newsworthy, right? And then not only that, to have the crowd erupt in cheers like that in Western Pennsylvania in the city of Pittsburgh, that is a big deal. I can almost guarantee you that if Kamala showed up at that game, she would not have that kind of reception. She sure as hell would not have USA chants. And what does that tell you about Kamala and perhaps even the entire brand of the Democrat Party? They don't really care about the United States. Now, I come from a family of proud Union Democrats who are very, pro-Trump. But back in the day, Democrats used to love America, fly the American flag outside their house. That's not so anymore. But Kamala wasn't. She ain't going to be getting any cheers. You'd think it'd be an honor to have a president there, but it's not. It's shameful. Everything is just so divisive anymore, and it kind of makes me sick to my stomach.